Hi guys, today we'll be grilling up some pork steaks using a homemade Cajun seasoning and our traditional green seasoning. We'll also be doing some spiced up oven roasted potatoes. This should be a good one, so let's sit back and enjoy the ride. The ingredients you will need are 2 to 3 pounds of pork steak, 2 to 3 tablespoons of green seasoning, 2 to 3 tablespoons of homemade Cajun seasoning. Let's go make our Cajun seasoning. For making our Cajun seasoning, you will need 2 tablespoons of garlic powder, 1.5 tablespoons of kosher salt, 1 teaspoon of oregano, 1 teaspoon of thyme, 1 teaspoon of onion powder, 2 tablespoons of cayenne pepper, 1 teaspoon of mustard powder, and 2 tablespoons of paprika.
Hey guys, first off today we are going to be making a homemade Cajun seasoning. Here I am adding all of the spices into one bowl. The advantage of making your own homemade Cajun seasoning is that you can adjust the amount of salt that you want in it. Now that I have gotten all the spices into the bowl, I'm going to take my spoon and make sure that all the lumps are out and all the spices are properly well incorporated together. So now that all of the seasoning is well properly incorporated, I'm going to use a paper funnel that I made and I'm going to put the seasoning into this bottle. Well guys, this is actually a copycat recipe from a channel called Bestbitesforever. I will have a link to the channel in the description box below and also in the iCards above. Now that our seasoning is all in the bottle, let's give it a good shake to make sure that everything is well incorporated. And here's your Cajun seasoning. Here I have about 4 pork steaks which I'm going to use my jacquard to tenderize. This is optional of course. If you decide to do this, please be very careful because this is a very dangerous kitchen utensil. Anyways, I'm just going to continue doing this process for the rest of our pork steaks. These pork steaks are going to be very delicious, and as the title says, this is a Trini Cajun pork steak and you're going to see why in a bit. And here's why. I'm going to be using 2 to 3 tablespoons of our homemade green seasoning. I'm going to have a link in the iCards above and also in the description box below on how to make this seasoning. I'm just applying a little bit of the green seasoning to both sides of our pork steaks. This seasoning is our base seasoning in Trinidad and Tobago. You can say that we use this practically every day in our cooking. Now that our green seasoning is all down, let's start to apply some of our homemade Cajun seasoning. Using the Cajun seasoning is where we are going to get our spiciness from and also our salt and other levels of flavor. We are going to do this on both sides of our pork steak. So now you see why I call it Trini style Cajun pork steak. Well, our first side is all seasoned up. Let's flip our pork steaks over and do the second side. So our pork steaks is all seasoned up. Let's take a close-up. And as you can see, it is looking absolutely great. There's a lot of marbling in the pork. That is a good sign because fat means flavor. Now we have got our pork steaks all seasoned up. We are going to place them in a bowl and put it in the refrigerator to marinate for at least 2 to 3 hours. Overnight would be best if you have got the time. While our pork is marinating, we are going to be making some oven roasted potatoes. So let's start prepping our potatoes. Here I have about 3 to 4 pounds of red skin potatoes that has already been washed. I am going to cut the potato into about 1.5 inch bite-sized pieces. Make sure that all the pieces are almost equal so they will all cook evenly. Now that our potatoes are all cut up, we are going to parboil them. That means we are going to boil them until they are partially tender. That should take between 5 to 10 minutes depending on your heat source.
For our oven roasted potatoes, you will need a half teaspoon of basil, half teaspoon of thyme, 1 teaspoon of garlic powder, 1 teaspoon of paprika, 1 teaspoon of cayenne pepper, 1 teaspoon of chili powder, 1 teaspoon of kosher salt, 1 tablespoon of parsley, and 1.5 teaspoon of all-purpose seasoning.
Now this is the blend that I use for my oven roasted potatoes. Let's place all the spices in a bowl and give it a good old mix to make sure that everybody is all happy at the party. Well, our seasoning is all mixed up, so let's get ready to season our potatoes. Here I'm going to add 2 to 3 tablespoons of extra virgin olive oil. This will help the seasoning stick to the potatoes and also help to get the potatoes crispy. And we have added our oil, so let's give our potatoes a gentle toast to make sure that they're well properly coated with the oil. Now I'm going to add our seasoning gradually and give the potatoes a gentle mix. Well, we have given our potato that gentle toast. Let's add the remaining of our seasoning and give it a gentle mix once again. I do hope you give this recipe a try. I've been doing this for quite a while now and it is a big winner at my house. And don't these potatoes look absolutely wonderful? So our potatoes are all seasoned up. Let's toss them into the tray. Make sure that they are spread evenly and then place them into an oven of 400 degrees Fahrenheit. You want to bake your potatoes until tender. Cooking time should be between 45 minutes to 1 hour, depending on your oven. After about 20 minutes or so, check your potatoes and give them a toast to make sure that you get even cooking all around, because you're looking for that crispy exterior right around your potatoes. So 45 minutes has gone by. I'm going to drizzle a bit of garlic melted butter all over the potatoes and give them a light toast and then place it back into the oven for about 5 minutes again. This will give it a garlicky flavor and also give it an extra crispiness on the outside. Well, our 5 minutes is up. I'm taking a bamboo skewer to make sure that they are tender, and as you can see they are very tender, so that means your potato are done. You can now place your potato into a Pyrex dish or any container of your choice. And you can see how lovely these potatoes are looking. Crispy, golden brown on the outside, and I'm sure they are definitely creamy on the inside. And here's our delicious oven roasted potatoes. You can see that golden crispiness on the outside. Now that our potatoes are done, let's go start grilling our Trini style Cajun pork steaks, which I have sitting in the fridge for the last couple hours. As you can see, the grill is all lit. Here I'm just placing a small chunk of poached oak to get a bit of smoke on our pork steaks. Now that we got a bit of smoke rolling, it is now time to place our pork steaks opposite the hot coals to get a bit of smoke. These pork steaks won't take long. They are pretty thin. They are about 1/2 inch in thickness. And also don't forget I had tenderized them with my jacquard. So I am putting down the last pork steak. It is now time to cover the grill so that the pork steak can take a bit of smoke. It's about 10 to 15 minutes. Let's check on our pork steaks. They are taking some color, which means they are absorbing a bit of smoke. Here I'm just going to give them a flip and move them around the grill to get a bit of even cooking. So we are 20 minutes into our cook. It is time to start saying off our pork steaks. So I'm placing our pork steaks directly over the hot coals. Remember guys, we are looking for that char, and as I've always said, char means flavor. And as you can see the flames kissing our pork steaks. This is what we want guys. So we're going to hit it with some of our homemade Cajun seasoning, or as my brother would say across at Stelly Grills and Chills, we're going to rain on it with some Cajun seasoning, y'all. I'll have the link for Stelly Grills and Chills in the iCards above and in the description box below. Go and give him a check guys, he has some epic recipes out there. And our steaks are all seared up. Let's take a bit of a close-up of one. And this is what we are looking here for guys. Absolutely gorgeousness. So our pork steaks are all seared up. I'm going to be tinting it with a piece of foil for about 10 minutes before we go to our drive-by. In the meanwhile, let's fasten on our seat belts and get ready. Let's go!
Well boys and gals, here we have it, our Trini style Cajun pork steaks. And in case you missed it, here's a double view of our pork steak and oven roasted potatoes. I hope you all enjoyed the video. Like, comment, and don't forget to subscribe and turn on the post notifications for more videos. See you all on our next cooking journey, and we're out until next time.